Good afternoon. You are watching this Friday's edition of Lunchtime News. I'm Punshani Edrisingha. As always, let's start off with a look at your headlines. President meets the Indian opposition leader. An individual has died and another injured in an earth slip in Kandy. 10 individuals suffer respiratory problems due to a gas leak at a factory in Kalutara. Take a look at the stories in detail now. Opposition leader of India's Lok Sabha, Sushma Swaraj, met President Mahinda Rajapaksa this morning. According to the presidential spokesperson Bandula Jayasekara, President Mahinda Rajapaksa hosted this visiting Indian parliamentarian for breakfast at President's house. Jayasekara said the breakfast meeting took place following an invitation extended by the President. A group including India's High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, the Minister of External Affairs and the President's Secretary were present at the meeting. Meanwhile, the Indian delegation arrived in Hatton this morning. The delegation will proceed to the Eastern Province later in the day. According to Bandula Jayasekara, the Indian delegation is scheduled to meet President Mahinda Rajapaksa this evening. One individual has died and another has sustained injuries following an earth slip in the Allagolle area in Hirasagala, Kandy. Police stated that the incident had occurred when a wall was being constructed in a house. The injured persons are currently receiving treatment at the Kandy hospital. Nine individuals have sustained injuries in a bus accident in the Madavachi area on the A9 road.
The accident occurred when a bus veered off the road and crashed into a tree in the Pubodagama area in Madavachi. Police stated that the accident had taken place at around 11:30 last night. According to the police, the driver of the bus had fallen asleep. The injured have been admitted to the Vavnia hospital. The group that was travelling in the bus had been returning to Hatton following a trip to Jaffna. Police stated that there had been 34 passengers in the bus at the time of the accident. Meanwhile, two individuals have sustained injuries in an accident that occurred in the Sangili Kandarava area, also in Madavachi. The accident had occurred when a tipper truck travelling from Anuradhapura to Madavachi had collided head-on with a car. Investigations are being carried out by the Madavachi police.
In other local news, the Private Bus Owners Association says that bus owners are facing numerous difficulties. Addressing a media briefing yesterday, the chairman of the Private Bus Owners Association stated that they are facing difficulties as a result of various items increasing in price.
මේ විදුලි බිල වැඩි වීමත් එක්කම අපේ සියලුම ගාස්තු සියලුම පිරිවැයන් අති විශාල විදිහට වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Due to the increase in electricity rates, our expenses have increased. The expense for servicing has increased. With the increase in electricity rates, the charges for servicing vehicles have increased significantly. Charges for tire mending too have increased along with the fuel prices.
ඒම පොලි අනුපාතය කර්මාන්තයේ ඍජුවම කඩාවැටීමකට ලක් වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ වියදම් එක්කත් බැලුවාම මේ ගාස්තුව සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපිට දැඩි ගැටලු සහගත තත්ත්වයක් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
The chairman also expressed his views with regard to the Ministry of Private Transportation.
ජාතික ගමනාගමන කොමිසම කියන්නේ අති දූෂිත ආයතනයක්. ඒ වගේම
The National Transportation Commission is a corrupt institution. The National Transportation Commission is under the Ministry of Private Transportation. The Ministry of Private Transportation should be shut down. It is a white elephant.
පුද්ගලික ප්‍රවාහන අමාත්‍යාංශය වහා අවලංගු කළ යුතුමයි. පුද්ගලික ප්‍රවාහන සේවා අමාත්‍යාංශය ඒක අද සුදු අලියේ.
Meanwhile, when News First contacted the Secretary to the Ministry of Private Transportation, Victor Samaravira, he said that he was shocked by the remarks of the chairman of the Private Bus Owners Association and stated that the ministry hopes to work towards the betterment of the commuters and will not be intimidated by comments made by a single party. Meanwhile, Chairman of the National Transportation Commission, Roshan Gunawardena, noted that they will not bother responding to the private bus owners but will instead work towards the betterment of the commuters while also helping the private bus owners. Moving on to another local story now, NARA and the Department of Wildlife have launched an investigation into the sudden death of fish in a branch of the Bolgoda River in the Kandavela area in Ratmalana. NARA says that the investigation will take about a week. Meanwhile, President of the Sri Lanka Young Zoologists Association, Deepankara De Silva, says they suspect a poisonous chemical in the water could be the cause of the sudden dying of fish. This unusual phenomena was first observed on Wednesday in a branch of the Bolgoda Lake, which runs alongside the Ratmalana Technical Training College. President of the Sri Lanka Young Zoologists Association, Deepankara De Silva, said that the dead fish was swollen and had wounds in the mouth. The Colombo Municipal Council is to carry out a program to identify mosquito breeding grounds.
Chief Medical Officer of the CMC, Dr. Pradeep Karyavasam, stated that a team comprising 24 health officers has been formed for this purpose. He added that areas such as Fort, Maradana, Maligawata and Grand Pass will be subjected to checks in the first phase. Dr. Karyavasam added that due to the prevalent wet weather conditions, there is a risk of another outbreak of dengue fever. He went on to say that legal action will be taken against individuals and institutions that maintain places conducive for the breeding of mosquitoes.
Area residents and workers at a factory complex in Kalutara have fallen sick due to a gas leak in one of the factories. The police media spokesperson said that 3 of the workers who fell ill this morning had been admitted to the Kalutara Nagoda hospital. He added that information has come to light that some area residents too had encountered breathing difficulties owing to this gas leak. Police stated that the gas leak had occurred at a factory producing chlorine. Moving on to international news now, a series of deadly blasts struck a number of Iraqi cities yesterday, killing at least 35 people and injuring hundreds more. Moving on to sports news now, Royal College Panadura beat Maliyadeva College Kurunagala in an inter-school rugby match played yesterday.
The C Division match was played at the Air Force grounds in Ratmalana. Royal College Panadura played attacking rugby from the kickoff. After leading at half-time, the lads from Panadura went on to score 5 tries in the match. Maliyadeva only managed to score a try and 2 penalties. Thereby, Royal College Panadura won the match 25 points to 11. Meanwhile, Wesley College Colombo beat Nalanda College Colombo 42 points to 0.
And that brings to an end today's edition of Lunchtime News. If you missed out on any of our stories, do log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk.